Welcome back. If you have questions regarding estate planning or elder law, one man, that's the man to call, David L. Carrier. He can help you out. Today he's joining me to talk about the Medicaid crisis. That's of course, always in the news, especially around election time.
Right, right. Well, today is election day, isn't it?
It sure is.
But you know something, I have a bone to pick with you guys. I saw Leanne hanging around here, right? Got the baby and everything, recovering, and et cetera, and I'm stuck with you again.
I know.
I was like, oh boy, Leanne's here.
Leanne's back and
back. But no,
David.
I got this guy.
Sorry, brother.
Not that I'm not complaining. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can't dig yourself out of that hole.
No, well, I'm good with it.
Let's talk a little bit about.
She's looking fabulous, isn't she?
She is looking great. Are you kidding me?
Well, you know, I never looked that good after I had kids. I've had 4 of them. Of course, I had a little bit different involvement.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
She's getting up a bit more than you may have done at that time.
Don't be making aspersions.
You got it?
I mean, somebody had to pick the kid up, change the diaper, and
sure.
I mean, obviously, I couldn't follow through on the
but there's something
necessary, but you know, the rest of the stuff, you know, fatherhood, man.
Let's talk about estate planning. What do you say?
Do we have to?
It's going left.
All right. Well, here's the deal. We, you know, we get very involved with our families, and so last Friday they had the sort of Beach Boys out at Canonsburg, out at the ski area with the symphony and all the rest.
They put on a great show.
Yeah, it was a really good show. So we had about 150 of our families, you know, come out. They even staked out an area for us to sit and all be together. So that was kind of cool. And then coming up next Thursday, we're doing a classic car drive-in. I have an old car, and you know, 56 Chevy, and that's mine. But we have an awful lot of our folks do have these old cars. You know, they sit around gathering dust and all the rest. And we thought, hey, come on down. We'll do hot dogs. So if you want to see, some old cars.
I want to hear more about your 56 Chevy.
Oh, it's a 56 Bel Air.
Okay.
Turquoise and ivory. Ivory, not white. It's not blue and white. Okay, it's turquoise. And ivory. Let's get that straight. Very important. You know, the details, you know, we're very focused on the details, and that's just one of them.
Well, your firm is very obviously heavily involved in your clients, with your client's life. I mean, you're taking them out to shows, you're holding cruise-ins, you're having a good time. It really is you get personal service. Well,
the thing is, so often people, when they do this, they get a stack of documents, they throw it away somewhere, and they, got that done. And what we do try to do is keep everyone involved, you know, so that it's always a free phone call with us, it's always a free visit. So and you don't have to come up. We have a guy who comes in every single month, and after a while, after a couple of years, it was pretty obvious the questions were getting kind of thin, but he always got himself coffee and a cookie, you know, and eventually, like I say, the questions got kind of absurd, and it's like, look, if you just want the coffee, that's cool, have a seat, you know, why not? But we don't have to schedule for an hour meeting, you know, just to, you know, so that was fine. But you know, one of the things, and this has come up in the summertime, and Leanne really put me in mind of it, because we have a lot of folks in her situation, and it could be sons, could be daughters. They're trying to raise their own families, and they're working. And they see what's happening with mom and dad. And for an awful lot of them, what they're seeing, you know, and it's not like they're the greedy kids, can't wait for mom and dad to die so I get the house, or, you know, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. But at the same time, times are tough. Everybody gets that, you know. And what's happening is they're really pulled. You know, they call it the sandwich generation, with the idea you're the meat in the sandwich, sort of. I guess that's the idea.
Sure. And well, you're taking care of above and below.
Right. And so you're in between. You're the one getting chomped on.
Sure.
Okay, fine. I didn't make it up. You know, I had to come up with something better, but tug Owar Generation or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's folks in that situation. They're trying to meet job responsibilities, their own family, take care of the folks. They know it's not going right with mom and dad. They know mom and dad are covering up. You know, in my own family, it was a situation where mom was the one who wrote the bills. And when she couldn't write the bills anymore, dad's trying to do it, but mom's still enough there that she knows he's doing it wrong. And it was very, very, very difficult. And we're blessed with 8 kids in the family, including 3 sisters who are in the area, more than happy to help out, and the brothers too. But you know, a lot of families aren't that way. And this summer we've had, and just recently, I guess that's why it's putting me in mind of it, just in the past couple of weeks, we've had a couple of these where people finally got, you know, to the very edge, they're about to fall off, and they finally came in. And it's one of those things where really, if you if you're feeling that you're getting backed up that way, the sooner you reach out, the better you're going to be. Yep. You know, we do the life plan workshops for people who pre-plan, and that's really important for the pre-planning thing. You know, here are some of them that we have coming up.
What's the first step? If you're feeling that pressure, if you're feeling backed up, you're feeling that squeeze, like, oh, I'm saving for college, but now I need to make sure that my parents are taken care of. What's the first step?
Yeah, well, see, there's really two of these situations. One is we're planning ahead, right? We're making sure it's going to happen. That's the workshop. Okay. But what I'm talking about are people where they've already got the diagnosis, and maybe dad has slipped and fallen and he's in rehab. And they're telling you, oh, you got to take dad home. But you know, it doesn't make any sense to take dad home. There's no way mom can care for him at home. And they're like, well, you got 3 days, get out. You know, I mean, you know, or you've used up your Medicare time, get out. You know, people think Medicare pays for this stuff. It doesn't. And you know, you get to the end of it, and it's like, what do we do now? Well, unfortunately, what happens so often is they take dad home, and now everybody's trying to work 24/7. Or mom, you know, whoever it is, and then we get involved at the second or third hospital admission. And it's like, for crying out loud, you know, if you'd called us when this started, you see. So there's really two. There's the pre-planning, so important to do that, and we're expanding our workshops to different locations. We're going up to Stanton. We are in Norton Shores. We're in Holland and down in Portage every week in Grand Rapids. So we're doing all that. But what I'm saying too is, you know, you say, look, I don't have time to do a tow hour. I don't have time to take a shower. Sure. Call us. Okay. There's a lot we can do, even in a crisis. You know, and you say, well, I'm not going to go to a Beach Boys concert or sort of Beach Boys concert I don't have time for that. I get it. You know, and that's not, or a cruise in or whatever. And we do those where people are pre-planning, where we haven't gotten to the edge yet. But there's so many people who are on the edge, who are falling over, who are writing those, you know, $10,000, $15,000 checks per month to long, and it doesn't have to be that way. You know, I know usually I have props, and you know, it's all happy jolly and all the rest. It's just that in the last couple of weeks, we've had a few of these cases where it was, Jiminy crickets, you know, we could have, if you had called us a few months ago, you know, if you had called us a year ago. The point is, there are always things you can do that are very effective, that can really help out. It helps, you know, it's not about abdicating responsibility, it's about grabbing the response. It's about being the good daughter, it's about being the good son, and enabling yourself to be the good parent for your kids too. You know,
and there's
I know I'm getting kind of heavy here, but you know, it's like.
And there's an expert series coming up, right?
Oh gosh, every week we're scheduling someone into our expert series. Sure. You know, we have the workshop room. It's all set up, and we only use it once a week. So what we're doing is we're bringing in other people. We're bringing in experts on Social Security, on funeral planning, all kinds of stuff. Again, to keep in touch with our folks, to give them a reason for thinking about us.
Thank you, David. Appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Absolutely. There are the locations where you can find David L. Carrier in the estate planning. And
the drive-in is on East Beltline.
There you go.
Got to tell you.